A big talker. New York City streets continued to serve as a way for restaurants to expand its seating capacity. A nice meal outside in the summer, something many enjoy, right? And there's strong support to make these features a permanent fixture. As we know, outdoor dining surged during the pandemic as a real way to keep restaurants afloat and save thousands of jobs. New York restaurants have become accustomed to that extra seating now that the pandemic is kind of in the rear view. Many lawmakers want to find a way to keep it around while also adding safeguards and regulations. Now, there is a city council bill that will do just that. It has the mayor's support, but is yet to be brought to a vote. It's been months. So let's talk about this. Joining me now to talk more about it and why it's so important that it actually passes are Ya-Ting Liu. She's the city's chief public realm officer, and James Mettham, president of the Flatiron Nomad Partnership. So great to have both of you here on the program for your first appearance. So let's talk first and foremost about what exactly this bill does that maybe doesn't exist already. Let me begin with you. So what would this ensure?
Yeah, thanks, Dan. So the bill sets clear rules of the road going forward for what you said has been an incredibly successful program in New York City. New Yorkers have now come to really enjoy outdoor dining, but it's been running on a temporary basis, right? Propped up during the COVID emergency. And now we need really clear design guidelines and rules of the road for how restaurants can operate in a permanent regime.
Yeah. So, and so big for restaurants, too, who call this such a lifeline, right? So James, let me bring you in, because Flatiron Nomad Partnership, I'm guessing, represents a lot of these restaurants who want to make it happen. What are they saying about it?
Yeah, we're fortunate in Flatiron Nomad to have hundreds of terrific dining establishments, many of which, as you mentioned, benefited over the past few years for outdoor dining. And they've invested in those spaces, and they want to make sure that the footprints that they've put on the ground and in the streets can continue providing jobs, providing great experiences for their patrons, and ultimately for the neighborhoods that they fit in, being places that people want to come back to, including office workers and tourists.
Right, so we know the positives, right? We know that it's a moneymaker for so many restaurants. And as much as so many people enjoy outdoor dining, there are some restaurants that have shuttered, right? And so then those sheds are kind of left out there to languish and dilapidate or become these dilapidated structures. Is this going to help clean that up?
Yeah, absolutely. And we fully recognize that the temporary nature have definitely led some sheds to become dilapidated or abandoned, which is why last summer the administration stepped up the abandoned shed enforcement. So we really partnered with DOT, Department of Transportation, Sanitation, the police department, and invited the New York City public to tell us if they see an abandoned shed, we will get out there, inspect it, and remove it right away.
Not necessarily, and some of them aren't just abandoned, they're just poorly maintained. So how do you ensure that they are visually appealing? Is that something you care about?
It's really important. I mean, the sheds themselves have been important for the businesses over the past few years, but looking forward, there is a way that this legislation enables for providing design standards for temporary setups on both the sidewalk and the street.
Right.
And managing that both at the restaurant level as well as at the city level is essential for making sure that this program and really a lifeline for businesses continue over the years to come.
So let me ask you this, because critics of the plan, as well as some restaurant owners, right, they're saying, well, we like the idea of a dining structure outside because it helps us make some more money, but they're not crazy about the time limits of it, right? So limiting it just for certain months and then taking it away from December to March, I guess would be to help with snow removal and so on and so forth. So help me understand this. If a structure goes up, does it have to come down then under the new plan during the winter months?
Yeah, the legislation would basically create a seasonal roadway program. So what that means is that from the restaurants can put up their setups in the roadway from April till the end of November.
Right.
And in the off-season months, they would have to take those down.
So who helps with the cost then? If a restaurant says, well, I like it, but I can't afford to take it down because it's so expensive to put back up.
Yeah, we really recognize a lot of the, whether it's the storage constraints or some of these cost constraints. We're actively working with the restaurant industry, Hospitality Alliance, and a lot of different business districts as well, to make sure that we're creating design guidelines and also setups in a way that is affordable at an affordable price point. And we're also exploring other options where maybe these setups could be collapsible and create additional like street furniture or other types of public seating.
Yeah, what are you hearing in your district?
I mean, a terrific example of that is right in the heart of Nomad, on 25th Street to 27th Street on Broadway. We've worked with the city in creating what we call the Nomad Piazza, where we're working with restaurants as a business improvement district and the city to facilitate a space that allows for these temporary setups. We're talking about some barriers, some chairs, umbrellas, greenery, and that's it. It's all can be pulled in and pulled out in a flexible manner each day, as well as in a seasonal capacity. And it's working, and it feels like a slice of Italy right in the heart of Manhattan.
Right, and now there are some who are fully opposed to the plan as well, right? So there was this lawsuit that filed this past week in Manhattan Supreme Court wanting to stop the plan altogether, saying it takes away parking, causes noise and congestion, and only adds to the city's rat problem. Now, those are things we kind of heard all along during this, right? But the mayor says the bill would deal with all of those concerns. So how do you break that down, specifically the congestion in some areas where lanes are kind of condensed?
Yeah, so let's be very clear. New Yorkers are definitely voting with their feet and their wallets. So outdoor dining has been overwhelmingly popular. And I think that a lot of the complaints about the way that some of the structures have looked over time will be cleaned up in the new program with very clear design guidelines. No more enclosed structures on the streets. Again, as James mentioned, think about the cafe style. More tables, chairs, umbrellas with a protective barrier around in the roadway. The flexibility, I think, is also important because it addresses a lot of the winter needs and conditions on the street, right? As a city, we have to take care of the street, we have to clean them, we have to repave them, and the flexibility and the seasonal nature of that will allow us to do that.
And how important is this for the vote? Why do you think it hasn't come to a vote yet?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think there's always a lot going on. This is New York City, lots of issues always at the front burner. But I think we're here to just emphasize how important it is for the council to pass this bill now, because we are so eager and excited to be working with the restaurant industry to give them the certainty and clarity and the rules of the road going forward that they need.
Last word.
It's so important that some guidelines, rules, regulations are put in place. This has been an emergency order for going on 4 years now, and providing that certainty for our communities, for our business districts, our businesses, residents is so essential. We really want to see this happen.
All right, Ya-Ting and James, great to have you both here on this important topic. Next time I want to ask you what a realm officer, what all that, because it's a whole big job you got there, a new one. We'll talk about it next time, okay?